Welcome everyone. This is Will, KMac Vintage, coming to you from Cayman with another live stream this afternoon. It is 1:30 p.m. here in Grand Cayman. Very hot day outside, and um, I'm glad I'm inside for now. I was outside for a little bit, had to run around and do some things, but at least I'm back and doing okay. So basically, what this video is for is a continuation of the stream I did yesterday, where I started on this 2FX board. Let's see, my stream deck is working today. Yeah. So this is the 2FX board. The one is bombed. This is from Mark over at Markintosh. He sent me 3 boards. So this is the 2FX, and I have 2 SE30s for him to do. Yesterday we moved all of the small little bird seed items and a few chips on the stream. Last night I worked. I couldn't sleep for a bit, so I then came back and I did some more things, and I moved some of the lower profile chips. So if we look at the board now, we'll see that I have a lot of these other chips now put on. I finished the small little birdseed stuff that was needed over here and over here. So all the birdseed is now on, except for what is over here. And I may put up some shields and try to take this stuff off, because I can test the board without the sockets. I can probably test them too without all of these components, because they're all related to the Ashinuba. So I may just skip that and just move these items here. So I still got a couple items here to move. I see that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. There are 2 here, 39 and 40. But then where's 136 and 137? Those might be on the back side. 136 and 137. Now to find them. The capacitors, no, the resistors, 136 and 137. R114, 127, 130, 31, 34. $136 and 137. 150. Here, 136 and 137. Here they are. So I found them. So those are 2 on the back that I need to move to the front. They're related to the CPU. But why way over there and then way over here? Well, they're next to the CPU location, so I'm assuming they are for the CPU. Now they're way over there. So I may go ahead and move those over. And then, you know what, since I'm here and I already have the board flipped over, let's get those 2 moved over. My hot air. This one is 136. And who is already here on the channel? Mark, hey. Yeah, I'll get to that RAM in a minute. I'm gonna try to use what was there, because I did a Hackintosh for you. So let's go ahead and move those 2 over. Let me put some flux on and get all these other little ones. $39. I'm just placing these on the new board, and then I'll go solder them. All right. I'll get to that RAM thing in a minute. Let me just put these on. Okay, Mark. Let me get you into good view. All right. Those chips that I moved over last night went fairly good. There weren't any major issues with them, except for one, like what Mark is saying. If you all recall, if you watched yesterday in the battery area, I was saying I was a bit worried about two actually chips, and one of them is a SRAM, and the other one is the what's the other one? The other one is the um, 8530 chip. That's the SEC chip, isn't it not? Or is that the VIA? The 8530. It's a Zilog, so um, I was worried about that chip. Although I have not taken that one off yet. I'm doing this the way I don't like it. From the angle I don't like. Alright, I got these four that are the angle I do like. So let's go ahead and take care of these. So when I started taking out those chips last night, the SRAM did get some damage. It's missing a leg. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those. I did order 4 more early this morning, but they'll go to the house in Florida. So with that, that means that I won't have them for me to test this board when I finish it, probably tomorrow. So I have to improvise something, and I did improvise. I'll show you what I did in a minute. And we're going to try it. It should work. Basically, I am trying to save the chip and reuse it in a way that many people do by using a Dremel, hollowing out some of the plastic and getting to the metal of the leg that's in the plastic, which is still in good condition, and then using a wire on it. So, all right, I think that's everything except for the stuff that's in between these slots. Oh no, there's still one more. Oh, look at that. Forgot that one. Yes, open chip surgery. But that stuff is very delicate to work with it that way. All right, let me get a paper towel here. Okay, so what did I do with that chip? That chip is the SRAM. I can show you better. Let's go to this camera view first. Okay, so this is the old board here, and this is the bad area of the battery damage. I'm worried about this chip here, but I was also worried about the one that's right here. This is the SRAM, and one leg, leg number one, is broken. Came off completely. So I was thinking, and then I remembered I bought a small little Dremel. Well, I bought a Dremel tool and a whole slew of different um, bits on it. And I have one that is small enough that I was able to do this with it. Let's go back to the scope. And I did this to it. So now that has a wire. It's long, very long right now, but at least it's soldered on there, and I can use that wire as the leg and solder that to the pad. So, matter of fact, I think we can probably try to see what we can do with that. You see, that goes right here. Let me zoom out so we can see better. Okay, so pin 1 is right here. So we can easily do this, and then I'll put it offset a little bit so I have a lot of room there. But I can use that. I can do something with that. So as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and try to shorten this a little bit now. And you know what? I may just try to take off all of that insulation and just there we go. Doesn't matter that the wire is bare because all the chip legs are bare, aren't they? The SRAM is to help. I'll need to look at the schematic. I actually had it pulled up yesterday. It helps control with the um, UC16. UC16 is UC17 here. And that is the serial pick chip. So it's part of the serial communication. Um, Sorry, I'm just checking something. Some messages coming in. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and solder this on. Let's see. Let's see what we can do with this chip. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna push it way back there. And since I want to solder that side first, because I am right-handed, I gotta solder the other side on first. I don't, that wire is the last thing I want to deal with. All right, so that side is all on. Okay, so that side is all on. There we are. That's it. So we're connected here inside. We're okay here. This is not given that it's going to work. Let me cut off that piece. There we go. That's on there. I want to give this a little cleaning here, because I want to show you something else that I noticed that I don't know if I have this right or not. So all right, let's see if I can zoom in more onto what I want to show you. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but when I removed all this, I ended up finding two pieces of wire, two 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 pieces in there. And I'm like, okay, well, which one does this thing go to? Now I'm wondering if this is supposed to be touching both, because then that makes it straighter and come right up the middle and touches both. But right now I have it just on one side. If it doesn't work, I can always put a solder blob here and make it touch both sides. So I really don't know. You see? I mean, I have opened up other chips and I usually just find one as a trace, but here I have two. Now, pin one, let me see if I can find a pinning for that. Let me see if I can find a pinning for what pin one is. Pin 1 is address line 14. So I guess we can always put a scope on it too and find out if it's working or not. Because that then goes to the PIC chip, pin 83. And pin 83, oh God, I'm not going to sit here and count all of those. Okay. I don't know why this meter giving me trouble. Okay. And I'm doing is pinning it out. It's one of these over here. My meter not working the best. I need to. It's very slow. I think I need to replace the batteries on it. See, like right now I'm touching them and it's not even doing anything. Right there. Okay, so it's going to there at least, but I don't know if it's going into the chip. I guess we'll find out when we go test this, right? Okay, I have 4 other chips to put on right now. They are the other memory chips that are up here in front, right here. I already took those off of the old board, so it's just a matter of putting them on this one. And I have them right here. There's 4 of them. Pin 1 is here, so the notch goes up here. Now these are like PLCs, so they should be pretty easy to solder. Yeah, the operation was a success. Very old 2 traces. Very odd 2 traces. Yeah, I don't know about that inside the chip, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, right? Maybe it's just the way that the chip was made, that inside there are the 2 traces, and then there's a flat piece that goes on top. That is the leg. So maybe it does need to be touching both, or at least one. So these are just RAM chips. You know, this RAM I do have some. I bought some, and luckily you can still buy this RAM from Mauser. That other SRAM for that chip that I fixed. is not available anymore. So now, Mark, tell me, you want me to socket some of these PLCs, like those small little ones? For that, I gotta use solder paste and heat. These, yes, these chips are okay. What do you mean about 8.5? Yeah, I'll show you which chips. Let me just finish with these here. So, okay, the guy point 5. Hey there, how are you? I haven't had you on in a while, but then again, I haven't done any actually live streams. Okay, that side is done. So, but point 5, how you been? How's everything with you these days? At least now I'm back. Yes, this is a 2FX board for Mark. I have some new 2CI boards on the way from China, from JLC. But these now are blue instead of the purple. Watching and working. Slow work day though. This is my issue work. And I do it all from home. I just had to run out this morning to the hardware store, get something to fix my mom's toilet that is running. Grocery store, and then I also went to a restaurant to get some takeout. I didn't feel like cooking today. I normally eat my bigger meal around lunchtime, and at night I eat something smaller. Something smaller, lighter. Just one of those things are getting old. All right, that one done. These chips go pretty quick. I'm almost out of this flux. I need to. You worked on the FX when they first came out with a good bankroll. You saved me a blank black. Yes, I still have about 20 of the black SE30 boards. My first batch finished, so I did buy a new batch, and those are here. And now ship my boards that I buy from China directly to Cayman. I don't go through the U.S. The U.S., even though it's just in transit, they'll add the tariff to it. And truly, it cost me actually less to send it directly to Cayman, because before I used to buy from JLC and then send to my forwarder in Miami. Then my forwarder charges me a processing fee and he air freight from Miami to Cayman. That sometimes can be $30, $40, $50. When I looked at the price for shipping from JLC using DHL, it was only about $20 more compared to going to Miami. I was like, oh, well, shit. Let's just send it directly to Cayman. After this one, Mark, I will start on your SC30s. I want to get all of your boards done so I can send them, bring them up when I come up, and send them to you. Okay, that's it for these. Let's do an inspection by hanging it off the bench. Look at that beautiful solder work. Look at that. Ay ay ay. It that's factory work. One missed. Maybe two missed. Let's see. I know I missed this one. See? It's loose. So we'll take care of that right now. There we go. Okay, done. A little clean job here now. Now, I've gotten to the point that I work on these boards in some crummy clothes because I always seem to stain my good clothing with flux and solder and burn things and alcohol stains of this stuff. So that's why I got that lab coat, but it's a little bit too small and tight on me. So this time I may order another one from Amazon that's a bit bigger. All right, let's check it again. Your focus good? Yeah, your focus pretty good. Ah, you see that? See that bridge? That's why I check it. Bridge gone. And I didn't like how this looked. There we go. Okay. Those are done. Let's see comments. I just got tagged on a board from Bull. 50% extra. Wow. Which board did you get? 0.5, a SE30 or a 2FX? Oh, there was a cap, two caps. I don't remember Bruce saying that. Mark, maybe if you can find a video or something that talks about. You know what? I actually had his website open for me to look at something on his page. So let me see if he recommends anything different. Uh, recap and back. Resources to FX. I can always send him an email and ask him to. He actually usually answers me pretty good. Yeah, he's got one here that originally it's a 1016, but he has it as a 1025. The other thing too, I may there's one cap on his board that I don't have, and I may have to reuse. I may have to reuse what is on it. This one. Now, axial like this, usually they don't go bad. They're pretty good because this is a 1000. That's a 1010. All these other ones are 470s. Those I have. Yeah, 470 16s. And then this one here is a 1016, and that's what I put on it as a SMD because it's when Bull did his board, he changed it to a SMD. See, there's that cap. When I looked at the schematics, that was for what location is that? C27. Okay, C27 is a 10. He just says on here a 10. He doesn't give a voltage. Rear of the board, there aren't any caps. There's some back here. Okay, there's a C7 there and a C8 and a C9. All those are 47 16s. Yeah, they're all 47 16s. Most of the caps on this board are all 47 16s. At the rear, there's some other ones here. C1 and C5. Those are also 47 16s. But if you can, try to find that and let me know where C1 is. Well, then here. Yeah, so I'll C1 is right there. And then you got C5 here. C5, C1 and C5 are both on the schematic 47 16s. Yeah, I can see where he may want to up that because C1 has got 12 volts going into it. Up to 16 is a bit close. Maybe he went to a 4725 on it. So, but I don't have 4725s. Even this one here, I don't have. I want to lift this and see. Yeah, you see, it's a 1016. That's the negative side. It's gonna have a lot of ground. And then this one here. See, it's got a lot of ground on that. is the one I may have to reuse because this is a 1010, 1000 microfarad, 10 volts. Oh, I don't have any of those. Um, you didn't send me a 2FX cap kit, but I may have. I may have a 2FX cap kit. Cap kits. Okay, most of these other ones down here are for analog stuff and that. If I have for a 2FX, it'll be in here. It'll be easy to spot because it's gonna have a lot of these in there. No, this is a CI. I don't think they're down in here because that's a CI, 2GS. Actually, these caps that are on here were the original ones from this board that I put back because they're already tantalums and in good condition. But I can go change them. It's not going to be down here because all of these are all down here is all for analog stuff. I don't have one for FX, but I can order it because and send it to the house in Florida. I already have some stuff from Console 5 there at the house. I can easily order one. Console 5 computers. Mac 2 series. Power supply. Mac 2 early revision 2 and 2X. 2FX, there it is. $23.95 for a cap kit. So yeah, I can order some from Console 5 and send. But in either case, I took all the original caps off of this board. Okay, I'll send him an email and ask him and see what he tells me, if he can recall what it was that he did about a 2FX board. So anyway, all right, let's keep on. Now you were asking about when I was saying about sockets. I was thinking about sockets for these actually smaller PLCs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't do these two back here because there's stuff way too close, so the socket would interfere. But up here, I got plenty of space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5. This is already going to be socketed. Okay. I could socket some of these other PLCs also. 1, 2, 3. This one I think is too close to here. 4, 5. I could do those 5. It'll be more than $23.95. Because I gotta add actually shipping to it. Because I really don't need anything else from him, so I would just be ordering that. I may throw in some extra things that. So anyway, so what you want me to? It's not really too much of a pain to socket them. I mean, it's kind of a neat thing. I mean, I do the sockets using solder paste and actually hot air, so you get to see me do that instead of. I mean, I could put one on it, and you see if you like it or not. Let me see. Let's see if I have the sockets to begin with. Well, I see one in that tube. Oh yeah, I have plenty. I have a whole other tube here full. All right. Oh, and they're already falling out. All right, so let's do this one, and I'll do one, and then you can see, and then. It's kind of neat doing it with the actually hot air and the solder paste, honestly. The SE is one that I really don't socket too much because a lot of times the chips on there are in bad shape to begin with. See, so this one would end up sitting right here. So don't count on having much sockets on the SE. The only ones I may socket are the two 26 LS30s that are on the back side. Well, at the back of the board, because those pads are real small to actually solder. I'm trying to get this to a point where you'll be able to see very well what I do with the hot air. Okay, solder paste. Okay. Where are you? Here you are. I know it looks out of focus, guys, but it's just because I got some stuff sitting underneath the board. For me, it looks okay. Let me just put on this paste, and then I'll move the board again. Okay. Before, I used to cut out that inner piece on these sockets. And then yeah, the paste is pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. Let me adjust my hot air here. All right. Now when I come here, then see my angle is over here. So that's this piece. So you can see some of the solder paste already starting to melt. And three of the legs over here on the right side where I'm blowing on are already stuck. The nice thing with this is, Mark, is that later on, then when I do get the chips off, I just have to drop them in. That's the last one now. All right. I'm gonna let it cool down. Now I can come and just check and make sure these legs are stuck. And that's it. You see, the socket is not melted. And that one is on, you see? That easy. That simple. Cutting it out wasn't too bad, but what happens is that when you got a bigger socket and you cut out the side walls can bend. You see, because this is very critical. It actually holds the it actually helps to hold the frame correctly. Okay, the shape. But when you cut this out, you're losing support. So on the bigger sockets, it it was causing problems. You see, that was the big issue with cutting it. I really should be putting on these chips that are next to these sockets on first. All right, where did I put it? There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. All right, you're right there. I make soldering look easy. Um, let's put it this way, it's fun. Okay, I don't know why some of my camera looks so out of focus along the edges. I enjoy it, and I've done this, and I've soldered so much that I have my little quirks or my techniques, let's just call it that way, that has made things a little bit easier for me. Now this one is a different type of socket. It's a different make, and the legs are a little bit different. Again, okay, so there it's pretty good centered. You can see every leg is sitting on a little bit of solder paste. I got to see if this one will melt at this temperature or not. Meaning that the socket, I don't want the socket to melt, because I have my airflow at 330. Okay, so those 5 there on top are done. Let's see if we can get these 5 down here. Yep. So my airflow, my temp is at 330, but my flow is max. Okay, that one is all on. And the socket is not melted at all. It's perfect. All right, that one done. 2 done, 3 to go. Yeah, I enjoy EC Kramer. Yeah, I really enjoy the solder work. I mean, when you look at how many boards I've already reloaded, it's if I'm not mistaken, close to 100, if not past it already. So that's a lot of trial and error and a lot of lessons learned. And like what Bruce says, um, heat is good. So my temperature on my iron is actually 390, because I can come in and out quick. With that temp, the actually solder becomes liquefied very quick, and it actually flows better. If you come in with actually 320 or that, forget it. Your solder is not going to flow nice. And flux is my friend. All right, so we have this one now. Again, my edge, my notch is over here on this side here. My nose was itching. Always in the worst possible time is when you get the itch in the worst possible location. Let's see if we can get the top ones to connect first. Oh, that one is melting a little bit. You see now this one here, I didn't change anything, but the socket is showing a little bit sign of melting, but it's okay. It's not severe. This one here don't want to melt yet. There we go. You see the socket showing a little bit of sign of melting there and here. A little bit here. Okay. That's socket number 3, and then the next two are right next to each other. Right here. Let me look at the comments. Yes, we learn by doing, and you do a lot. Yeah, I do a lot of. I just enjoy it. I mean, I'm just one of those mind learning, repetition doing, and simplicity. Okay, this one, where are you? Okay. My notch is over here. There it is. See, now this one here, I'm using the same heat and even closer to the socket, and not a single sign of melting. I guess just sometimes they're made a little bit different. It has a weak point. Let it cool down. Okay. Let's do the 5th one. Um, Last one. This notch is also the same direction. Sometimes if I give it a little notch like I see that, it kind of helps it. Okay? Okay. All right, that's on there. Those are the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do those bigger ones too. Let's see, there was one that was a little bit bigger. That's not a peel, not a. Oh, okay, yeah, that's this one over here. I don't know if I can do that one. Over here, this one, a little bit bigger. I think I have those sockets also. Yeah. First, I need to see if it will sit here okay. Yeah. Let's do this one too. Yeah, I'll try to see how many of them I can do. The other ones are 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll have to see if I have 4 of those because those are the bigger ones. Those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those 11. Those are the 44 pin ones. All right, let's do this one. right, let's go ahead and turn on the iron. Sorry, this one is a little bit out of view for you. Mark, how is the focus? Does it look okay? Now solder paste is real nice to work with because it will flow to other metal. Meaning that it will seek out the pad and the pin. This one taking a long time. Finally starting to flow. And then go up a little bit on the temp. Mm-mm. Just curious, right there, it does not want to stick. That must be a ground. Boy, this one here giving me a hard time. Hard time to actually flow. This looks like another ground, you see, because it's tied to this big piece of metal down here. All of that metal taking away the actually hot air very quick. So the same thing here, it is tied to it. Wow. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Give me a second here. Okay, there. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. Need this one loose. Okay. There we are. All right, that one is on there. Any comments? Pain, what happened if you touch an iron? Yeah, well, that's what I just did. Yeah, that was my intention. Okay, some of this bigger one. Let me see if there's a lot of ground plane on here. No, I don't see that big of a ground plane. Oh, where are those sockets? Okay, I have some of the other ones. They're the ones that go here. Where my notch? Down here. Let me see that these go here. And I can use 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. So those will be pretty easy to put on. Yeah, I think that's been nice is that I've been selling some things on the store, which is very nice because then I get some funds to buy more things. And I have some SE30 compact cards coming. Those are the cards that allow you to run the SE30 off of an ATX power supply or a Pico, and it gives you HDMI output, so you can run the machine without an analog board or a CRT. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Having some problem getting some of this solder paste out. I hope I didn't run my hot air blower on it. Hold on, let me see if I can clear this out. Of course, that's too thick to go in there. I have my other one. Where did that one go? Yeah, coming from the tube, it's coming from the syringe. Coming from this, it's okay. I seem to have a clog in here. All right, let's hope that I clean that out. Right. Making too much of a mess. Let's just start all those over. Need to have a good steady hand for this and patience. Okay. All right, my notch is down here. Let's turn on the air. Print a new tip with your A1. Nah, that tip is too small, boy. Oh, that thing is very tiny. Um, Solder paste doesn't really become in balls. Because the solder paste tries to go, because solder, we'll always try to find other solder. So it will always try to flow back towards the metal and try to stay together. You see that? See how it flows and tries to stick to itself. See that? My finger's getting hot. And when I build stuff on my hot plate and I use solder paste, oh my god, it's so nice. See that big blob there? Watch it disappear soon. See? Look, it's gonna go away. Boom, there. It just separated and ready. See that? That flows so nice. Have I tried using a mask for the paste yet? What do you mean by that? I mean, if I can put mask over the paste, well, the thing is normally you don't put. I mean, yeah, it should. I mean, once it becomes solid like I see this, it is just like other solder. Okay, that's connected. Oh, stencil. No, because I don't have any stencils. I don't have anything that is using a stencil. All right, Mark, we're gonna keep on putting these on. Let's keep on going. You see this one here, I have a small little connection there, so I'll just take that off. Okay. Where's my notch? Up here. I There, it's starting to melt. Even though the flux, the paste might be touching the other leg, you see how nice it separates? Look at that, look. And you come from the other side. All right, I got a few on here that I think might be loose. No, that's attached. No, they're attached. Okay, well. Okay, that one is on. Nice and easy, huh? Next one right next to it. Oh, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. I don't think I can do one on this one. You see this blocking it. So this one I'll have to solder on. That's why I only picked 4. I didn't pick 5. This what I'm doing here too. Something you don't see many other vintage repair people doing. I mean, Computer Chronicles. I think that's his channel. I can't remember. Anyway, Keith Harp. He's doing some reloaded boards and that, and some repairs, but computer compulsors or something like that. I don't remember the name of the channel exactly. Yes, the processor spins and it'll be socketed, and so is a small little I think that's the FPU. Yeah. There are 2 that are socketed. I have those sockets. Better said, Mark, is that the processor is already in a socket, so I don't need to desolder it. I mean, so I just solder in a new socket and then just pop it out of the old board and put it in the new one. It's not like the SE30 that a lot of them are the processor is soldered directly to the board. Okay, yeah. One more to go. And also the processor in that it's actually through hole. So the socket is really easy to put on. Okay. One more to go. And that's this one over here. But I want to clean over here a little bit. The nice thing about putting on using the paste is you don't have all this flux. I'm going to show you something after the socket too. A nice thing about paste to actually work with, especially if you're doing a lot of SMD stuff. Oh man, that one there, this one chip here is gonna haunt me. This one is gonna haunt me. Look how close that is to that to get in there and solder. I wonder if. Oh, you're gonna get socketed. You are so gonna get socketed. Well, two more to put on after this bigger one. Now, since I'm here, we might as well socket it. I was thinking I wasn't gonna be able to socket this one, but I lucked out. Where's my notch? You are so socketed. I'm so glad I got that's two less chips that I got to solder on the board. Okay. One more of these right here, the other 26 LS30. That's what these two are. These are for the serial communication and printer port. All right, here we go. Anyone else out there watching, I mean, go ahead and chime in. I don't know who's still here, but would like to hear from you. Okay, that one flowed. I think they all flowed. Okay, let's do this last bigger one now. Point 0.5, you're still here. It looks like you're decorating and the tiniest cake in the world. Yes, it is. It's a it's a fun thing. Let's just call it that way. I mean, I think you know what I mean. I actually enjoy this work. It's a labor of love. What's worse is that a lot of times decorating a cake, you're not doing it through a microscope. Right? I mean, how many cakes do you decorate with a microscope? Okay, that should be it. Yeah, on those 601s, I mean, oh, those PPC CPUs are a nightmare to put on. But I've gotten very good at those, and those I would rather solder than use paste. Yeah, it's close to 300 pins. But still, I would rather solder it because I can flow that much better with a lot of heat on my iron tip and good amount of flux. Now, unless if you have a stencil and you're able to put the flux right on the pad, the right amount, and then drop the chip on there real good. Paste might work. I mean, you can see how nice this is flowing here. I mean, look at that. Look how nice it flows. So paste is a nice thing to use. See that? You know, look over here. Right? It flows so nice and it goes right to where it needs to go. I'm gonna zoom into it here so you can get a better look. All right, you see that? Now look what's gonna happen once I start heating this up. See that? You see how it's just like it knows where to go. It's like little actually nanobots. Look at that. Boom, done. Done. Okay. Socket is on there. That's it. See, and I didn't have to cut out the inside. And see, this is what I mean by a longer wall, a longer edge. This, if this was in here, this can bow out, and then the pins will not make contact. You see, this can bow out. All right, so all of these are on. What's left? I mean, granted, look. I mean, when I look at this, when I look at this chip here, okay, that I got to put on. Look how close those legs are also. Those pads. I mean, this is, but it's not that difficult to actually solder. It's not. See, it's not difficult to go and solder that. I wonder why it looks. That stuff looks like it is. One side is out is in focus, the other isn't. You see how here it looks very well focused, but then as you go down here, it doesn't. I don't know what it is. So anyway, that other thing I wanted to show you about paste is how to do the small little SMD stuff, okay? So we have these three right here, right? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of paste on. Okay. I'm gonna take those three off of the old board. Granted, they are in between these sockets. So I'm not gonna switch camera for you to see me taking them off. It could be maybe that something is not level, that it looks out of focus. Oh my God, this resistor don't want to come off. Oh, because I'm on a low temperature. I had a low for the sockets. Okay, so I have these here. I'm gonna turn the board because I work better from this angle. I'm not too worried about positioning it right. All right, I need to turn down the airflow though. So now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat this and watch. It's gonna center itself. See that? See that? See you? Did you see that move? That's it. Done. No SU flux. No nothing. Should I go and do these three? I might as well. That's a nice thing about using flux and the small SMD stuff. You see it move? See that? Done. Nice and easy. I might as well keep on doing them because I need these moved anyway. There we go. Done. We got these. The thing that wonders me about the camera, Mark, why that side looks out of focus, is that through my view, it does not look out of focus. So it makes me think that it's just the camera. Maybe I need to take the camera off and clean it and do something. Maybe there's something in there that's causing it to. But it's not autofocus; it's manual focus. Oh, where did that one go? Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. I already took those off. That's one of the nice things about SMD with solder mask. I mean, solder paste. It's this. It will just. I Okay. And I think I got a couple more right here. Mm -mm, 26, 98. 98 must come from the other side because it's not on the front side of the board. So we'll do 26. I'll skip 98 for now. It must be on the other side of the board. Tombstone. That's when it's called when it does that. Here you do get auto ball sometimes when you're doing it this way. Yeah, I got two. Okay. All right. Um, I do have some more. I got still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more to move over, and these 3 chips. But I'll do that later. Right now, what I want to do is on the old board. Here, the old board. A lot of these chips that I just socketed, I can take off. Well, I changed my mind. Let's don't do sockets after all. On what? Yeah. I'm not getting them off now anymore. So what I want to do is try to take off some of these chips that I socketed. If you change your mind about the sockets, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I changed my mind on the price. It's now double. Because on this board, Mark, I have a lot of work because I need to take out all of these connectors. I need to take out the memory sims. I want to try to salvage the PDS and the Nuba slots. There's your power connector I gotta take off. So I have a lot on this board that I need to take off. The PETA tax. The Defined Pizza. I don't think I've heard that one before. And again, remember, I do a lot of these boards, so for me, I have all of my techniques, my tricks. Oh, pain in the ass. Okay. I went to the post office this morning because to see how I can start sending things back to the U.S. because right now I can't, not packages. Um, because I do so much, I can be classified as a preferred shipper. Then what they'll do is I have to provide invoices for my items and correct country of origin. But the problem is that a lot of my stuff, remember, I've already paid tariff when I bought it. Okay, because if I buy something from Mauser, I'm already paying the tariff, and then I have to have it shipped to Miami, and then Miami to Cayman or to the house in Florida, and then I bring it down with me. So there are, I mean, I've already been taxed on it, right? So now they want to know the country of origin, but my stuff is, I mean, that stuff is from USA. The PCBs are out of China, yeah. And then I build it here. I don't manufacture the products, but the final product I do build, like 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 our ROM sim programmers or a ROM. I buy the components, I do the soldering here and build it. But apparently, U.S. will still consider that China because it is the actually higher tariff. So they'll go with what is the actually higher tariff. Then if the U.S. Customs puts a tariff on it when it gets to Miami, um, the post office here then will actually bill me as a shipper. They should really be charging the actually consignee. So that may mean that I may have to increase some of my prices. Okay, so that's how. But I don't have that problem for anywhere else. It's only to the U.S. But I've got some people that did some place some orders. I got like 6, 7 orders to ship to the U.S. But I told them, I said, look, I can't ship it right now out of here, but I'm coming up to Florida in a month, so I'll ship it then, and you'll get it. And they're like, okay, all right, that's good. All right. Uh, Pizza, yeah, the whole tariff crap is for the birds. Yes, it is. It's a pain. It's a pain. All right, so now I'm gonna bring this board back in. As you can see, I didn't put the chips right in the socket. I have them here on the side. Reason why is because I want to look at them through the scope and see how they look. This one looks okay. The reason why I look at them through the scope is because I want to make sure that the legs are, there's nothing touching on them and so forth. This one is still hot. Oof. The advantage of sockets is that if you have a bad chip, you can easily pop it out and put it in a new one. You don't need to be soldering. The ones I solder to the board, if they're like a bad scuzzy chip, like on a SE30, I have to unsolder it, and then a lot of times then you also don't have space. This one I need to solder on the board. So you can see what I'm looking at when I'm looking at the chip on the scope. You see how it's got all these legs, all these spurs. I should really be doing it with some flux, and I don't want to get the chip all dirty. So that's what I'm looking at to actually remove. I'm looking to buy a new top view camera for up here. One has got autofocus and auto zoom. I mean, zooming capabilities. All right, this is the chip that I'm a bit worried about because it was sitting at a bad spot. So this one I think I will have to flux up. See all that green? And Mark, how do we get rid of this green? Heat and flux, right? You've seen me do it before. See all the green gunk there? And when I tilt it this way, see that? And the thing is that I kind of need this clean. So, fluxaroo. Boil it. Boil it loose. It's almost like as she's sandblasting it. Ugh, what a bad smell. See that? Look how much better that looks now. Flux it up and then boil it. Okay, let's clean this. How long have I been streaming? 2 hours and 24 minutes. Steve actually did a stream last night about a very rare hard drive. He needed a cable and he made it and it worked. Very little documentation on it. All right, so now we look at the chip. And there's all the green gone. The spots that are there are inside. That's not a leg. You know what? Remember that chip that I cut open? Seeing this now. All right, remember, this is the leg. And so I'm attached to the leg. And then you see here, this is another piece of metal coming out. I think that's just a metal ring that's running around the chip, around the edges, because I see it on all corners. See, look at that. So maybe that's just something I'm not supposed to attach to. All right, so let's put this one in. Okay. I'm making some good progress here. Look at this, boy. Aha. Now I got this one left. This one, though, gets soldered on the board, so we'll go ahead and solder that one. Soldering it is easy. Okay, hold on. I'm missing some comments here. So part of his stream. Yeah, that one really actually dragged out. So anyway, okay, let's get this one chip on here. This is fairly straightforward PLC soldering for me. Look how far along we're coming with this board. Really, there's not that much left. Lie. Still plenty to do. Yeah, Bruce is busy with his mother. That's one thing that worries me about mine is that if she falls, she's fallen a couple times already, but nothing major. But um, it just takes one fall. And she already has some bad knees, but now you can see why I use 390 degrees. That solder just melts very quick and it stays liquefied a bit longer for me to drag it. And with it liquefied, it won't bridge so fast. Okay, that one is on. We have no more PLCCs to put on. I do with the RTC. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I was looking through some stuff that I brought down from actually Florida last time, and in there was some stuff that actually Joakim sent me out of Sweden, Mark, and there was a bag in there with a bunch of chips, and I swear there must be like 6 or 7 RTC chips in there that are actually PLCs that I can use on this board if you want me to. So, all right, now you're probably wondering how I do these other chips. Um, because the ones that are left now are completely different type of footprint. All right, I need to get some new wheels for this chair. My tile in this room is like a sandpaper. It is textured, so it's rough. Because this used to be outside porch, so for anti-slip when it was wet. And with these chairs running on it and with my weight and all that, it's like the plastic is like almost gone on some of these wheels. All right, okay. I need to switch cameras here. Well, the Joakim RTC is an actually original Apple RTC. Okay. All right. So what do I have left to do? Okay. These two are socketed. I'm not worried about them. But all of these here are soldered. Okay. They're a bit different packaging. They're not difficult to do. That's the biggest one. Then come these other small ones. What time is it? 3 foot. Oh God, it's 4 o'clock. All right. We'll keep on going a little bit. I'll do like a 3-hour video. Probably then end at 4:30. So I can do this big one. Let's get that. Let's get the beast out of the way. Shall we get that one off the board? Where's my other tool? There it is. I have the AT tiny ones. I can make. Well, I can make them. I have them. I need to make them anyway. But at least I got a bunch of RTC chips, which are very good to actually have. All right, let's get this sucker off. Let's get this one off. Now you may think this is a difficult chip to put the solder back on, but it's not. Again, heat and flux are your friend. The hardest part is actually getting it off the board. Okay, it's coming. I can hear the popping noise. Now you may be wondering why am I only doing 3 sides? Because with I lifting here, this side, and this side need to come up first. This is the last. This is the back end. So just think of something folding up. See, now that I have the front completely done, I don't need to worry about that anymore. So now I come here to the sides and the back. See, there, it's off. All right. I'm going to leave it on here because I'm going to go ahead and take off some more chips. See, that one came off too real easy. All right, they're coming off. You're trying to get away from batteries. Okay, well, this board, regardless, it's going to need two batteries. Without two batteries, it will not come on. And that's why I think you may be better putting on two of the coin cell instead of the original, like what you want. Plus, I don't have sockets for, I don't have replacement sockets, new ones. I can look at some old boards and then recycle a socket for you, but I'm almost done moving chips over. I mean, this is all that's left. Okay, we got everything off. On the SE30 Reloaded, it is a coin cell. There's no other option. On this one here, the board can take either one. It can take this old type or the coin cell. But if you want these, I need to recycle them from other boards. All right, we have this big chip to put on. So big chip. It's no different than any of the other chips. Flux, loads of it. Okay, chip in hand. Drop in place. Okay, push down, clear that up so I can see it. Solder one leg, solder that leg. I come up here. I'm looking at both legs. Okay, we're tacked down. That's it. It is now secure and it's in position. So now all I do is drag. There we go. But did you notice what I'm dragging? I'm not dragging on the leg. I'm dragging on the pad adjacent to the leg. I mean, I could come and do this also, but more than likely that will leave a bridge at the end because that removes all of the excess solder. Saw that? So now I have so much there that I have to use wick. But that side is done. I'll come and check them later. You see how it is not bridging. It's again the what makes that nice is the fact that I'm using high heat and I got a good amount of flux. There we go. You know, if I want to run it on top, I can, see? But it's gonna give me that blob at the end. See, most of the time I can remove that blob. There we go. 3 sides done. Not difficult, guys, not difficult, but just take some practice and some confidence. There we go. We're done. Let's go do another one. Let's go do this one back here. This one. Beto, welcome there. How are you? Yes, my bamboo just finished printing. It's printing some things for my nephew that I have to take to him. He lives in Cape Coral, Florida. Well, in actually Fort Myers area. Beto, how are the vintage computer stuff down in Brazil? I've been seeing some Commodore stuff from Argentina and Brazil, and it goes under it's under a different name or under a different um I don't remember exactly. I'll have to find it again. But this chip is the same way. You just start with those 2 legs. Then I come up here and I do the same thing up here. And one thing I think it's the same with these, that there's already some solder on these pads from from factory. Because my ROM sim programmers that I buy, I have to solder on the main chip also, and it's the same thing. There's already solder on the pads. You see, look at this. I haven't put solder on my tip, so you tell me where this solder is coming from then. You know? Okay, that one done. Okay, and if you want to double check that thing about there's already solder on the pad, I mean, look, they're all stuck. They're not loose. And I did not add solder. Okay, if we look at one, you see how it's kind of raised, and when I run this on it, it's not smooth. So there's already solder on them, and that's very nice. Okay, I have not put solder on my tip. Yeah, it's stuck. No, you can't see. Sorry. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm just soldering away here. Okay. One, two, three, 4 chips left to solder. The rest are not chips. Well, yes, I still got three resistor packs in between the Nuba slot, and then I need to see about the RTC. Getting there, Mark. Getting there. So what do you think about that part? That you don't need solder on these pads. It's already on there. See, if I didn't add solder, how could I have a solder ball there? That's okay. Oh yeah, there comes Lilo. He knows it's time to soon go. One more. 424. Okay, this might be the last one that I do. Okay, that's that. So how far along are we? Um, this is what's still on this board. I need to solder these two. Okay, these two are in sockets. I still need to remove the power switch. These things back here, all of this back here, I'm gonna remove. Um, Power connector, the crystal. So I got 1, 2, 3, and I need to see what I'm gonna do on this side. 4, another one here. I got all these sockets to deal with. But for the main part, the main guts of the machine are just about done. I mean, if we look at the new board, here's where we are with this. So all of these chips are on. These are the last two main chips. These are in sockets, so these are not too concerned. This is also going to be in a socket. Then the rest is just small little extra stuff. Like I don't need this for it to work. I do need the capacitors and that here. I need a power connector, either the ATX one, or I may do both. I may connect both, Mark. That way, you can run it with an ATX power supply if you want, and not just the Apple one. I mean, what do I need to turn it on? I need the capacitors in. I need these rest of these chips in, the batteries, the power switch. I need the audio. And I need a SCSI, because the SCSI, then I can see if it boots up. Oh, I have to have one Nubis in because I need video, because it has to use it uses a video card. So there's a jumper here to select between your power coming from ATX or Mac. So I got to put that in, and depending which one you use is you end up jumping it. So this is coming along very good. Oh, it's just it must have had a dot. Oh yeah, there are a dot on these, and if you see, there's the circle. That symbol's pin 1, and on the dot, on these here, there's a circle in one of the corners, and then the chip has a dot on it. Okay, on these two that are left for me to solder, yeah, there's a notch here, so it's gonna go like actually that. See, those two go on like actually that. Um, so I may do some work on it tonight. I'm not sure if I'll do a video on that. I may do an actually recorded video, but not a live. But I am gonna call it quits for today. I have been on a 3-hour stream, 3 hours and 1 minute and 34, 35, 36. So I will call it a day for me on this. Let me see what else is here in the comments. Brazil, Bito. I don't know if you're still there. Oh, I must have not much left. Okay. Nice to have options. I saw the jumper pads. Pick between them. Um, yes, you did send me a video card. I do have that, so I'll have to check on that and see if it works. But I need to get at least one FEPDS slot working. Then I need to. So I do need to finish all of these things here before. But that's fine. It's easy enough. So you all saw quite a bit of stuff today. You also saw putting on sockets using paste. That was nice and easy. And then just popping in the chips, fixing a chip here. You all saw how I fixed that to try to salvage it, and let's hope it works. I'm pretty confident that it will. You also saw soldering of these chips on there. Um, it seems that JLC puts a solder already on the pads for you, so that makes it a hell of a lot easier. But they don't do that for all the chips, okay? They don't do that for all SMD stuff. I think these here also have some, yeah, these also have some solder on them already. Yeah, I can feel it. You see, I can feel it on that, but when I feel a different chip, I don't. You see, like on this, I don't feel. So anyway, let's go to this view. Thank you for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. If you liked it and found it well, entertaining, is this entertaining, educational, or helpful, and so forth, please consider subbing to the channel, giving me a like. Hey there, Rudy. How are you? Hello, everyone. You're coming in at the end when I'm just about to go. Yes, I'm pretty fast with these boards. I got quite a lot done on it already. Now it's going to be slow because if I'm going to take out all of these RAM sockets and all the PDS and all these things, that's going to take time to unsolder all of that. If I put in new, it goes very quick because all these RAM sockets are the same as the ROM. Okay, it's an actually 64 pin. I'm pretty sure it's 64. Yeah. So it's I do have those new, but these are nice metal ones. So I wanna try to use them again. So I'll have to unsolder them. I have to unsolder a lot of stuff. I mean, there's so much on this board that I need to take out. But anyway, that's for a different day and probably do it off camera so it's not boring for you. Anyway, thank you, folks. I'm gonna end the stream here, and remember to visit kmacvintage.com and also sub to the channel, give me a like up on so forth. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.